For more information on my programs, please visit masajady.com. That's MASSAJADY.com.
Got it. So there's just a good number of you here that say counsel people. So you can bring in, say, your whole group, so to speak, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. If you're online, okay, and you say help people out, again, counseling, you're a counselor, or you have a group of people, whatever it might be. Thanks. We can bring them in. If there's any specific questions that you guys have before we start, it is say an hour-long meta healing, and I'll describe the process, okay, or what I see. Okay, if you guys, there's a lot of new people. So basically, what I do is say I generate frequencies that help you shift at a deeper level. So imagine your life as a program, right? And then that program is distorted at some level or corrupt or have gone corrupt. And then that's why we tend to, say, get pulled into, say, suicidal type tendencies or depressive modes. There's lots of reasons why those programs get corrupt. We're not going to get into that. So I'll create a sense of a frequency, a general theme around, say, depression or suicide, and then on top of that I'll work on subgroups. Say, for example, that you're depressed or suicidal because, well, you've been abused as a teenager, or even some of you just tapping in as a baby, almost. Again, so removing that deep distorted pattern in you. Okay. Other patterns that I see, again, a lot of you guys who are disconnected, you guys are, say, really nice people. You're really open people. You're really warm-hearted people, and some of you in the audience, but again, a lot of you online. What happens is that, say you have a friend that's really anxious or depressive, and they'll latch on to you coincidentally, and it's not such a coincidence. It's just because they can latch on to you. Okay, you're like a life preserver to them, right? They're drowning. They see your brilliance, or say the opportunity that you're gonna, send out, say, your spirit or your space for them to hold on to. And then what happens is they latch on, and then, well, it gets even worse for some of you guys. That person actually committed suicide. So now, since they're fearful, what happens is that, is that they cross over, right? They commit suicide, but their spirit is bound to them, bound to that person that helped them out. And then now you start to, say, sink, and then you feel suicidal. So there's a lot of people like that online as well. So, and a few of you here, actually. So we'll go through all, say, the different patterns that I see as I work on you. And as a note, guys, I'll guide you into a nice deep state, and then I'll just keep talking on whatever I see in you guys. Okay? Dave, did you have a question? Right. Yeah. You've done a good job, cleaning out, but, yeah, you can, remove that residue even deeper. Okay? Yeah. By the way, some of you are family members. I think that's why you're really here, kind of run from that same pattern, right? So I think you're really here at a, say, unconscious level to help them out, right? So let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Again, whether you're sitting or standing or lying down, whatever is good for you. Okay? Whether you're a teen or not, doesn't really matter. And really defining who you are. It's really, really important to, say, define who you are. Okay? And the importance of that is that as you, if you're not, say, on stable or on solid ground, okay, and then you try to help people, especially if you're of a counselor type, you get, say, sucked into it even deeper. So really defining who you are, really being in your space, not being anywhere else. Okay? Just being, again, in your space. So noticing your feet, noticing your face, noticing your head, your shoulders, and whether you're resistant to it or not doesn't really matter. You'll get sucked into, say, the space of being aware of your body complete. Right? Doing anything else, whether you resist or not, doesn't matter. Again, you'll get sucked in. To being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your body within your surroundings, whether you're here or whether you're online. So noticing your hands, noticing your shoulders, your backside, your front side, your head. Complete breath in, nice and deep. Thank you. Connecting to the group, whether you're online or whether you're here. Again, really connecting to the group. Okay, being aware of the group. Right? It really creates momentum. Right? It really helps us stay afloat because of the power of the group or the strength of the group. Wonderful breath in, nice and deep. So I'm acknowledging, again, the group dynamics. And really being present, say the way you're sitting, the way you're standing, if you're here, if you're online. Again, noticing the perimeter of your body, your flesh, your skin. Okay? So take another strong breath, asking ourselves, how do I connect to pure source even stronger? Again, that question, how do you connect to pure source even stronger? And whether you're resisting, say, consciously or, say, unconsciously as whatever controls you starts to pull you away. Right? It doesn't matter. I'll explain that more in detail as we go in. But settling in your own space. If you have people that you help, whether it's your parents, your kids, whether you're a counselor, a health provider, a psychologist, whatever it might be, again, imagine them, say, not around you, because again, you're not really, say, strong enough to help them out at this space, but imagine them outside of you, right? Or in their homes or in their office or whatever. If you have a bunch of people, well, if you're a counselor for many individuals, a school counselor or something, again, imagine the whole group, right? Just hanging out, meditating with you. And then just let them go. As a note, it's not your responsibility. People have life paths. Okay? The best way to help others is to really say help yourself. Okay, be a bright, shining, strong light. Again, it'll help anybody far more than anything that you can do. Because you're leading or setting an example. Wonderful breath in, nice and deep. Coming into our head space, because that's where most of, say, depression or anxiety or suicidal tendencies land. A lot of you not in your head space. A lot of you too insecure to be in the space that you're in. And then you think playing on the phone, texting, anything like that, or talking is going to, say, keep you stable. It's really not going to keep you stable. That's what a lot of teenagers do, by the way, right? Some of you who are getting uncomfortable, again, it's not me. It's the patterns that control you, right? So you try to, say, disrupt, again, disrupt the theme or disrupt yourself getting into those deeper states, whether you're online or whether you're here. Again, I bypass all those patterns or frequencies for you. So, all right. So whether you have been abused or distorted, I see a lot of that in the group, or you absorb other people's who've been abused or distorted. Just really noticing, again, your head area, your face, your eyes, your forehead. Again, being here. So I'll work on you on several different layers. One, the group dynamics. That's what you're feeling, and then say subgroups of that. Okay? And we'll call out, say, some of the subgroups. One, if you've been abused, whether childhood through your teen through adult. Really starting to, say, pull out what's distorting you or why you got abused in the first place. Okay? And it's really not about the person abusing you, okay, but what's the underlying pattern that's causing the abuse. And again, I'm not saying it's your fault. And there's other subgroups who are totally disoriented or not in their space. So time becomes a distortion. You're always out of time. You're always in your head. You're always fearful. You're using, say, technology tools, phones, whatever, again, to stay disconnected from time. Well, you think it's a safe space. It's really not. That perpetuates even further disconnection. Some of you who've been, say, abused, been disconnected from time. Some of you who've had, say, a near-death experience, right, or have been sickly or have seen a lot of abuse, you've disconnected yourself to be safe. Some of you have seen or experienced, say, imaginary friends. Those imaginary friends, not so imaginary, they're real. And you may have had them, say, as a childhood, right? They've grown up with you and now they control you. Some of you who've had, say, patterns of people dying around you, whether they're suicidal, again, those people, especially if they're really, say, close to you, they'll pull you further away into the other realm, making you feel like suicidal. Again, whether you're a counselor or whether you've helped people. So, right. From what I'm seeing, a good number of you, and this is another subgroup that I'll be working on. Your mom not being stable or taking drugs for some reason. So as you go through, or as you're in vitro, your mom taking, whether it's prescription drugs or street drugs, right? Distorting you, disconnecting you again from time. So that's the main theme. Okay. So just noticing again, if that resonates from you or with you, then just be aware of it. If it resonates for some of your clients or your kids, just be aware of it. And then there's people or kids who, again, through their nutrition, not getting the right nutrition to grow up, say, properly, not feeding the brain. So basically the brain's starving, and then you get disconnected from time again. Some of you might be feeling the space around you. What? Let's go ahead and take a nice strong breath in. Just notice where you are. Notice the space around you as I continue to work on you, whether you're here, whether you're online, whether I'm working through you. And it's really a mixed group, so I can't like lead you through a meditation because, again, a lot of the ones that I'm working on is through somebody. So as a note, if you're listening to a recording of this, it's the same thing. So if you're going to listen to the recording and focus on somebody, it'll still work on them. For those people who get burdened by people who are, say, suicidal around them, whether, again, a loved one or a counselor, let's work on that as well. So you see it from a different perspective so you don't absorb their issues. Okay? Just notice what's coming up. And as a healer or counselor, teacher, even a parent, again, bringing in, say, different solutions for you. Those individuals who've committed suicide around you or, say, in your family, let's help them move on so it's lighter for the living. It also helps release the patterns if it's a family, say, hereditary pattern of depression or suicide. help you close off imaginary friends, whether they were in the past or present, including, say, entities or spaces or realities around you that aren't associated to this reality. Nice strong breath in. Coming into your heart space, your chest area, from solar plex on up. There's a note for the new people. I don't have to say anything to work on you. I don't need to know exactly what your issues are to help you resolve those issues. Okay? Go. Noticing your breath, noticing your heart space, the chest, going all the way through into the mid-back, deeper into your lungs, through the upper back. So noticing your heart space from the front side as well as the back side. And then noticing, say, any deterioration, any distortion, anything else that doesn't feel like a healthy heart space. And I might be talking to, again, the people who are actually here or the people that I'm working through you. Okay? Just take another strong breath in. Again, really pulling you into your body, noticing your spine, your mid-back, and then down into your lower spine, at the lower back, and into your groin area. Just noticing your space, noticing your breath. As I help you open up, say, different realities and reposition you into the reality that you actually are in. On the exhale, coming into the groin area. So pulling you from, say, your head or outside of your head area, pulling you back into your body complete. For some of you, it might feel scary, or whoever I'm working on through you, right? So just kind of note that. They might be a little more fearful, more anxious as they start to come into time. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why they disconnected from their bodies in the first place, whether it's you or, again, people I'm working on through you. Some of the patterns or situations that they try to escape from, okay, will start coming back in. Not to distort them or destroy them, so they can resolve it properly and then move on from it. Okay? So just be aware of that, whether it's you, the signs will be there for you. Okay? You have to pay attention to it. Okay? You have to be conscious this time. Again, if you're counselors, please relay that message to whoever you're working with. It's not there to distort you or abuse you. Again, it's there for you to be conscious of it, so you can say no, so you can protect your space. Especially people who get overrun by things, get controlled by other people. Right? Same thing with relationships. It's something that I can't do for you. Beautiful breath in, nice and strong. And you're noticing your body from your head down into the groin area, and noticing your spine. Okay. And then noticing a column right in front of your spine. Okay. Notice it as a golden light. Whatever feels right to you. Okay. Something that you can hold on to. And again, it's nothing more than your brilliant self or pure source that you're holding on to. It's not me. It's not anything outside of you. It's your own true identity. That's the only thing that you can hold on to. Okay? So again, relay that to your loved ones or clients or whatever. It'll really help them stay stable. It'll help you stay stable as you go through the process. It's not a simple subject that we're talking about. They're really strong forces that are out there that pull you so far that you want to disconnect or commit suicide or get depressed, right? For those who are weak, again, really hold on to that column within you as you get, pulled into those other realities, which some of you, a good number of you actually will. Just note that. That's part of the process of strengthening. It's not a bad thing. And don't let it abuse you. For those who've been abused in the past, just note those patterns of abuse have come about somewhere within you, and that's why you accommodate abuse within you. Okay? Not blaming you. You shouldn't blame yourself, but just note those patterns are within you. As they release, you'll attract some sort or some form. So again, holding on to that column, it will keep you safe, but then it'll also help you be aware of those patterns so they never happen again to you. Especially patterns of, suicide, wanting to disconnect. Right. Another form of abuse, whether it's self-inflicted or an outside source. One thing that we didn't talk about is individuals who don't feel like they're here, or they don't want to be here, like a little alien type. Okay. Again, so we'll work on that as well. As a note, if you run patterns of abuse or disconnect or things that can persuade you to be suicidal, whether they're physical beings, whether they're spiritual beings, whether they're aliens or other entities or whatever, they'll see that pattern and take control of you. Okay? So if you're not in control of your life, your space, something or someone else will be. It's just a natural default. Okay? It just is, guys. It's just the laws of physics. Okay? Just note that. There's no excuse, by the way. Just like gravity, if you slip off, say, the edge of a cliff, it's not going to go, well, you had a bad day. I'm not going to, make you fall down to your death. Again, there's no excuse, right? It's just physics. So just be aware of it. It's not about being nice. It's not about being a hard day. It's nothing like that. It's just straight out physics. Right? So as I remind you again, guys, if you're not in control of your life, something else or something, some other person will be. Right? No matter how old you are, no matter how distorted you are. And as you take back control of your life, sometimes harnessing, say, that wild self that you've created or let go, and again, it's not your fault, it's just something that is. Again, it tends to be a little difficult harnessing something that's never been, say, controlled. So be aware of that as well. So it takes patience, it takes diligence, but once you control it, it creates, say, a strong sense of self. It takes you far in this lifetime, but more importantly, in the next lifetimes. So you don't have to repeat it. A good number of you, whether you're here or online, you've repeated this pattern over and over and over and over again. Just like those people who commit suicide. You think you're ending it. You're not. You're on the other side. And it continues forever until somebody disconnects you. Right? So it's not a solution. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in again. Just noticing the space around you. Noticing the people that you brought in. Just putting a nice clean barrier between you and all those people that you brought in and anybody else. Again, a sense of self-identity, right? Becoming aware of that calm that's in front of your spine. Becoming aware of your spine, the back of your head, your face, your chest area. Right? Really pulling yourself back into your body. If you ever get distorted, as you will, especially if you're heavily burdened by depression or suicidal tendencies, again, be aware of that column, be aware of your sternum, the bone that connects your ribs together in front of you. Okay? For those who are time displaced, hold on to something, whether it's a rock. It doesn't have to be special. In fact, I prefer it not to be special, right? Because then you create attachments to it. It could be a rock, it could be your keys, it could be a pencil, it could be a paper clip, a piece of garbage or whatever. Just hold on to it, be aware of it. and then discard it or get rid of it. Get something else. Right? Don't make it your favorite Lucky Charm item, whatever. Right? Because you give up control, again, to that item, coincidentally. Beautiful breath in. As we come to an end, you guys can hang out here if you'd like, or those people online. All right. You can play this over and over again. If you're a counselor, play this in the background where you can just kind of barely hear it, or where your clients can barely hear it, and they'll feel that space. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for being on the call. Hope it helped. By the way, you can distribute this in any way that you'd like. Okay. And for those who are counselors, just kind of a shout out, I would offer, my services to speak at schools or something to that effect. So if you can set that up, that'd be fantastic. Just contact the office. All right, guys. Again, thanks for being on the call. Take care. Notice what you notice, and then notice what you're noticing. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
For more information on my programs, please visit masajady.com. That's MASSAJADY.com. Or join us on Facebook for more information. We do a lot of Facebook Live.